It's time for the G Funky Boxing post fight call in show. Let's do it. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You're too kind. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed the fights tonight. Man, we had a lot of fights today. I had a busy day, but I definitely watched all of them. Uh, Enjoyed them, every single one of them. All good fights tonight. Um, I have been making post-fight videos for Gabriel Flores, Abraham Montoya, Joet Gonzalez versus Santissima, which I think that was the performance of the night for Joet. Also, the pro debut of the silver medalist Ricardo Torres, and then of course we had the main event, Jose versus Jose. Jose Pedraza versus Jose Ramirez. And I had the fight scored exactly the same as the judges. 8 rounds to 4. I marked down 2 swing rounds on my card, which was rounds 3 and rounds 8. And but there was a lot of close rounds, man. This was a good fight. It's not like fight of the year or anything like that, but it was a good chess match. You could see both guys were trying to they were trying to execute their game plans. They're both making little adjustments here and there. And I thought it was cool, man. I really did think it was a cool fight. Um so I want to get your guys' thoughts though, man. I want to get all your guys' thoughts out there. Um there goes the phone number right there on the screen. I am ready to take some calls here. Man, it is late. This fight went much later than I thought it would. Um, Top Rank got to do a better job with timing these cards, man. I know it's crazy late for you guys over there in the East Coast. Like I'd be pissed off if I was in like New York and had to be up at 1 a.m. to watch the fight, man. That would be fucking crazy. Lance Meyer in the house, he says G Funky Boxing looking hella dapper. That's Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate that. Let's see. EBA 101 Boxing says walking out of the stadium of the fight right now. Right on, man. I got to know a few people that are there. I had a few friends who are working the event for the California State Athletic Commission that were there. And yeah, really good stuff, man. Great fights this evening. Absolutely. Man, feels like a Saturday night, but it's not. It's Friday night. We still got fights tomorrow, baby. That's right. Make sure you guys are there for that one as well. I think I'm going to go live during that fight to call it live, and then I will swing right over and do the post-fight call-in show. I think that's going to be a tremendous fight. El Rey Martinez comes in 2 pounds overweight though. Not a good look there. Not a good look at all. But the fight is on, and we got ourselves a fight tomorrow. Knocked out by Kenny. What's going on, man? I know it's late for you over there, bro. Um, good thing you stayed up, man. You were hardcore, man. Stay up late and watch these fights that are really, really late over here. I mean, it's late over here, man. It's almost 11 p.m. on the West Coast. Make sure you guys subscribe to Knocked Out by Kenny. Really good channel here on the HCP network. Make sure you check him out. Again, guys, phone lines are open if anybody wants to call in. 916-572-1020. Call in and give your opinion on the fight. Give me your scorecard. I feel like, you know what? Like I see a lot of people were complaining about Pedraza's, moving and not doing enough. I always try to get a read on what the fans are thinking. I seen a lot of people on Twitter were saying that, look, I don't necessarily have an issue with the way that Pedraza was moving in there tonight. But he just didn't let his hands go enough, you know? And I feel like, this is what I felt watching the fight, that him switching to southpaw so early, um, I was like, man, I don't know if he wants to pull that out of the bag right now because, you know, I had a feeling that it was probably going to be a 12-round fight. Um, so I'm like, damn, you want to go southpaw this early, man? I don't know. Maybe you might want to wait a little bit. But that little adjustment there, you know, it definitely paid off. You know, middle rounds. But Pedraza was doing some good work, man. Landing some good left hands. Nice clean shots on Ramirez. I really like what Robert Garcia was telling Jose Ramirez in the corner about, you know, don't walk straight in, you know, come in behind your jab. When you're coming in, you know, move your head, throw some feints, you know, don't just walk right in because he's timing you with that left hand. And he was getting that left hand off really, really good, man. Let's see, have to put in the work for the content. Glad to see you working in. Yeah, I mean, I'm free at this time, man. During the day, I'm really busy with the wife and kids. So right now, you know, after the fights are over, I'm free to, you know, everyone's asleep right now in the house except for me. So, um, you know, I'm awake, just barely. I'm getting old, man. You know, I can't stay up that late anymore. So, but I definitely want to come on, and now that I got the phone line working, I want to come on here and talk with you guys about this fight. This was a good fight, man. I really did enjoy it. Um, Richard Torres on his pro debut gets a knockout stoppage. I feel like man, that was a rough fight. Kind of a rough debut as well to come in against a guy like that and suffer a cut as well. You definitely don't want that happening in your first fight. But hey, he's learning on the job, you know. And this is the pros, you know, so you know they're gonna be doing little stuff like that in the ring. But you know, he dropped the guy a couple of times, I think 2, 3 times, and gets the stoppage in his pro debut. So I'm gonna be keeping my eye on the kid. I like him. I like what I saw from him out of the Olympics this year. I thought he was a really good fighter, man. So I'm definitely gonna follow his career and see how he does. But again, I think the performance of the night, man, on the main card, Joet Gonzalez really looked good, man. Really looked good. I like the way that he was setting up all his work behind a nice stiff jab, power jab at times. Um, it set everything up for him. Was setting up those right hands, setting up those left hooks to the body. He put a good amount of pressure on golly, I can't say his name anymore. But he put a lot of pressure on the guy, and it was effective aggression. Okay, he landed the cleaner punches all night long. I was not a fan of the stoppage though. I feel like Santissima. Now his name popped in my head. Look, he was losing the fight. I didn't even give him one round in the fight. So he was on his way to losing the fight anyway on the cards. At least I think. Um, but I don't think it was, I don't agree with the stoppage. I'm gonna try to find out and see what the referee said and why he stopped the fight. I got some people working on the inside there, so I'm gonna go ahead and reach out and see if I could get an answer to why the referee stopped the fight. You know, we'll see, man. But other than that, I feel like Hoet, man, really performed really, really well, man. Really liked what I saw from him. Andre Ward and Tim Bradley were kind of talking about how his defense, you know, the high guard, how that could leave you open to the judges giving uh, punches that aren't really landing cleanly to your opponent. You know, and I agree that does happen sometimes. And like I said, maybe a catch and shoot or something like that would be nice. Got a phone call coming in, guys. So here we go.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
All right, we got my man D Style Boxing. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We hear you loud and clear.
How's it going, man? I got to see the fight. Made it home on time. I did see the Torres fight. That was, man, must suck to get a cut like that on your first fight. You know, it is what it is. But he wins by stoppage. Been following him since the Olympics, obviously. So shout out to him. Jose Ramirez Pedraza went kind of like I thought it would go, actually, but I did think it would go decision. I felt it would be like 8-4, 7-5 type of fight, and that's kind of what it was, right? I mean, I gave rounds, rounds 2, 3, 6, and 11 to Pedraza. I could have given him 8, but I feel like I gave it to Ramirez, but you could give it to Pedraza. It was one of those rounds. But very, very competitive fight. I enjoyed the fight. I think, I mean, Ramirez still looks like Ramirez to me out there. You know what I mean? I'm okay with that. And Pedraza's, he's a tough dude, so
Yeah.
good fight.
No, I had a lot of the same rounds as you. I believe round 3, 8. You said you give him 8 or not, or 6? No, 6 and 11. I gave to Pedraza as
I gave
well.
him 2. I gave him 2, 3, 6, and 11. I almost gave him 8, but I didn't give it to him.
Yeah. Okay. So we agree
It
on.
was one of those, like, I already gave it to Ramirez, and I was second guessing it. It was one of those.
Got you. Yeah, it was. I knew, but I knew that Pedraza was going to be tricky. He's very crafty in what he does. Yeah, I just feel like some of those rounds is just too much movement and not enough making the guy pay. And his corner kind of pointed that out to him as well. Like, look, you're making a miss, but you got to make him pay too. It's one thing to move away from the aggressor, but again, you got to make him pay. He was doing that in some of those rounds, though. Like that left hand was starting to find a home. I really liked the adjustment that Robert Garcia told him, like, hey, don't just come straight in, move your head and feint more, before you come in. I feel like that was really key in the later rounds, man.
Yeah, like Garcia, you could tell he has a philosophy of like make your offense your defense. Now people think that means like just keep throwing punches and keep them on the defensive. It could mean that for swarmers, guys that punch a lot. But really what it means is you go in smart, like use from the waist up and your feet obviously, but literally like from the waist, bob and weave your way in, move your head, and make it difficult for your opponent to hit you. And then once you're at range, that gives you the ability to hit them. It is, in essence, make them miss, make them pay. It's just seen as more offensive, but it is still defense, even if you're not on your back foot. And I think that's one thing Garcia implements in his fighters. I think, like Ortiz, for example, like people say, oh man, Ortiz gets hit a lot, right? Now, I know he's no longer with Robert, but he definitely got hit a lot less than his opponents, though. That's the thing. Like, and he didn't get hit clean that much. Like, he would get hit, but there was never like these punches that turned his whole head. Like, those were few and far between for the most part, and he was always in balance. So it's just like that's the Garcia kind of philosophy. Like, keep a good balance, right? Always be, don't get caught while you have your toes in the air, and bob and weave your way in. And he's good at least in this fight, he was good at kind of reminding Ramirez, like, yo, hey, make sure you remember to, move your head when you go in.
Yep.
Don't get lazy in there because that's when he starts tagging you. So and then he was kind of cheerleading from the outside at some point in time, just touch him. So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like the rapport he has with Jose, and what Ramirez said is that Pedraza is a tough dude. As people don't remember this, I guess, but Pedraza gave Lomachenko a good fight.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah. So like that. Let's not forget that. And I remember when that fight went decision, people were kind of surprised because he kind of it did go decision, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah, it was close to a stoppage, but I think he went. Yeah.
Yeah, it stopped the streak of Loma like making dudes quit and all that. And people were like surprised at this Pedraza cat or whatever. And another thing is, look, he got knocked out by Tank Davis, but that was at a weight class that, it was said that he was struggling to make the weight. You know what I mean? So for what it's worth, like he feels more comfortable at these weight classes. I feel like Pedraza is a gatekeeper in this division.
Yeah, it's getting to that point for him for sure. Man, he's such a big guy too. Like I don't know how he's making those 130 limits. That must have been some hard training camps for him. What did you think of? Did you see any of the other fights tonight? Did you get a chance to check out Hoet? I felt he looked really good tonight, man.
I did. I actually did catch the Hoyt fight. Actually, yes. I caught it like from the second round on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought Hoyt looked good in there.
Very
Look,
good.
Hoyt is I think Hoyt is a kind of best way to put him is he's like an aggressive, smart fighter. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't just go in head first like that. Although he does use a high guard, a little, he does kind of implements a high guard. He comes in, and then from there he just kind of pressures guys, and I think he's really good at pressure. I think he's good at catching guys when he has them against the ropes. People forget he caught Stevenson like twice with some really good hooks, and he got him against the ropes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I thought he looked good in there, and even though the stoppage was bizarre, like in a way, it kind of was like I don't know about that. But look, man, like Hoyer was not going to lose that fight.
No.
Okay, like no offense to the other dude, like. And how many times have we seen fights where like the data shift fight, rest in peace. And I don't want to virtue signal or anything like that, but how many times have we seen fights where a guy was just taking a beating and he had no shot at winning, but like since there wasn't that moment where he was wobbled or something, if a guy's not in the fight and he's taking a beating, it's time to stop it. And the ref did warn him too.
Yes,
the
he
ref
did.
did tell him, look, if you keep getting a beat like that, I'm gonna have to stop it. So like he did tell him, and look, what do people do if something happens to the kid, right? Like they all blame the ref.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna
they should have stopped it. They should have known. So whatever.
Yeah, he did warn him. I think it was the round before. A friend of mine was working the corner for Santissima, so I'm gonna try to find out and see exactly what was said over there in that corner. But you're right, man. Hoet took control of that fight. I didn't even give Santissima a single round. I feel like there was a couple of competitive rounds early, but man, that jab was a thing of beauty, man. That he was, it set everything up for him too. I love the way that he fought behind it and put the pressure on. Yep, and you've been talking a lot about effective aggression. That was a really good example right there of effective aggression, man. He was coming forward behind that jab, landing it, busting through Santissima's guard with overhand rights, and even mixing it with some left hooks to the body. Just a beautiful fight for Hoet, man. I really enjoyed that fight. I really enjoyed what he did in there, man.
Big fight.
Yep. Gabe Flores could have took. And I said this, man, in my post-fight video I made for that. If he would have fired a jab and on a straight right hand, he probably would have stopped his opponent tonight. But I'm going to make a separate video about that, man. I got a lot to say about what I seen from Gabe Flores.
I didn't. I can't comment too much on that fight because I didn't really watch it.
Yeah.
Really, I just saw like a little bit of like the highlights I saw on YouTube, but I can't make a correct assessment for that. But I saw he bounced back with a W. I know there's a lot of people saying it could have gone the other way. I don't know. I can't assess that. I haven't watched it. One more comment about Hoyt. I think it was Doug Fisher said something like, sheesh, another tough fight for Hoyt. Like he's really taking a lot of punishment in there. And I'm like, did he really take a lot of punishment in this fight? I don't think he did. Like,
no.
I just don't see. Did he get hit? Yeah, it's boxing. But was he taking punishment like that? Nah. Like, I think people see what they want to see. I think the only fight where he took a lot of punishment in really was the Navarrete fight. That's it.
But he dished out a lot himself in that fight too. So
but the Mariaga fight, I don't think that was a tough fight for him. I think he controlled Mariaga. I think he controlled his fight. I think Shakur outpointed him, but like he didn't hurt him or anything.
Right. No, I agree with that as well.
He was mostly frustrated because he couldn't keep up with them like with the foot speed. But it wasn't like he was like getting punished by Shakur. Like he just wasn't.
Yep.
I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying it wasn't like a fight where he was getting punished. It wasn't.
No, I
I just wanted
agree.
to throw it out there. You know what I mean? And keep an eye on Hoyt. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. Like I think he's going to get some more opportunities.
Yes, man. I agree with Tim Bradley where he said he's got the tools to become a world champion. I agree with that. I mean, he's really, really good, man. And when you got a fighter that can fight well behind the jab, they're in any fight, man. But hey, brother, I appreciate the call, man. Thanks for calling in. And tomorrow night, man, we got another big fight. Chocolatito and Martinez should be good, man. And I'll be taking
I'm
calls
ready.
again. I might go live for that one. I'm thinking I probably am gonna call that one, and then I'll
I
take
was
calls right
I
after.
was I was planning to go. I was planning to go to that fight, but work just didn't allow it. But I just got home from work just to be able to watch some of this. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
nonetheless, peace out, brother. Peace out, everybody. ACP.
That's right, man. That's my brother D Style Box. Let's give him a hand, everybody. All right, give D Style Boxing a hand for the call. I appreciate that, man. Again, the numbers on the top, man. Anybody who wants to call in, give their piece on the fight. 916-572-1020. Call in and let me know what you think. Boxing Dialogue says can't fight like Pedraza was in the other guy's hometown. We talked about that with Jack Catterall. A lot of people felt like he won that fight against Josh Taylor last weekend. Um, Me personally, I feel like he took his foot off the gas in the last couple rounds when he could have made a statement in those last two rounds. And again, like you said, we understand what happens in boxing with hometown judges. You got to be able to separate yourself, man, from whoever the hometown fighter is. William Boxing here in the house. What's going on? Ruben Gonzalez. What's up, guys? Again, the numbers on the screen. Um, they threw this out there after the fight that Ramirez could fight Cepeda again. Cepeda is right now the mandatory for the WBC strap that Josh Taylor has, the undisputed champion, at 140 pounds. Now, he said he's probably most likely going to move up. That has yet to be official. So I think that's a good fight. Let's say he sticks around at 140. I think Cepeda is a really good fight for Josh Taylor. Um, Ramirez and Cepeda had a close fight the first time they fought. If they fight again, I think that'll be another close fight and another good fight. Um, so I'm good. I'm good either way, man. Gabriel Flores, man, that was frustrating. That was so frustrating to see because I mean, looking at his opponent, it should have been an easy win for him. He's got, you know, the better skills, the quicker hands. Um, I do feel like his father. I know a lot of people were on his father's case, including myself in the last fight. But this fight here, I think he did a good job, man. I think he was telling him the right things. Gabriel just wasn't following through. And like I mentioned when I was talking to D-Style right now, uh, the guy was coming straight in and straight out, So when he was able to back him up, right hands were landing flush for Flores. Straight right hands, that is. He was too busy, in my opinion. He's too busy trying to throw lead hooks, lead uppercuts with the left hand, and it just wasn't working. You know, Montoya had the timing down. He was able to get out of the way of a lot of those left hooks and uppercuts. It wasn't until he started throwing those straight punches that he was really starting to land some clean head snapping shots like his father was trying to tell him to do. Um, he made the fight a lot harder on himself than it needed to be. Too much unnecessary movement, in my opinion. I don't think he needed to move that much to beat this guy. I don't think he could have stood right then and there, took steps, pivot to the left. He didn't have to move so much. It almost reminded me of an Amir Khan type of fight for Gabriel Flores. We got another caller coming in. Give me 1 second.
EVA 101.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
All right. Oh, we lost him. Oh, EBA 101. Hey, call back, brother. Not quite sure what happened there. I'm not answering any blocked numbers, guys. So if you have a blocked number, I'm not gonna answer. Um, I'm just not gonna play those games with anybody. Um, yeah, call back in, EBA, because for some reason it cut off, man. I didn't hang up on you. Um, okay, you're calling back. Cool, man. Right on.
EBA 101.
To accept.
All right, you're live, brother. What's going on?
Hey, what's up? I'm still driving home from the fight. Just heavy traffic, but just wanted to put a little bit of my input. I was able to see the fight live. I want to start off basically probably like with the Jose's fights, right? The two Jose's. Um, uh, I'm from Fresno, so of course I'm there rooting for Jose, but always having my own channel, kind of keeping it unbiased. I was a little bit disappointed, even though he ended up winning, and there were some adjustments that Robert Garcia, like you were saying, later on, he was moving his head movement, but for me, I think in the focus, at one point, I tweeted out one time, and he liked the comment on Twitter saying like, "Hey, he needs to work on his head movement because that's what got him in trouble versus Taylor, right?"
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so I think that should have been the focus right away. Like Garcia shouldn't have been needing to remind him that that's something that he needed to do. And at times I felt like in the first couple rounds, like the first 3 rounds, he did have that head movement, but after he almost after every hit that he got it counter pretty clean, that's where he's like, "Oh yeah, I need to move my head." That's a reminder. Like it was like an afterthought, right?
Yeah.
And his output, of course, reduced a lot. And like Pedraza wasn't really putting too much, like you were mentioning. So I was expecting a lot more activity from Ramirez, and especially if he's going to fight like more top tier fighters right now. Like if he stays at 140, or like you said, if he fights Pedraza, he's kind of familiar. But if he ever wants to move up in competition, I think he will struggle because I think one of his biggest qualities has been that he's one of the bigger 140s in that division. And when he faced someone like his size, Josh Taylor, he kind of got dropped twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Besides not having the head movement, and his output was one of the things that he always had that was an advantage for him. Like he had a really good stamina, and he threw a lot of punches. Of course, now if he focuses a lot on the defense, it takes maybe 2-3 training camps or even more to make that consistency there. But hopefully he continues to develop in that defense and head movement for future fights. But I was expecting a little bit more. But maybe I was asking a little bit too much. He got the win, great. But the Gonzalez fight there you're mentioning, from my perspective, it was interesting because watching it live, we were like, "Oh no, this is a pretty good fight." It was pretty action packed, at least in the first 4 rounds. We saw it pretty close, but then the accuracy of Gonzalez started being really clear, and the damage that he was really creating on Santissima was very clear. And then the stoppage, like you did say, was a little awkward because it was not like crazy, like wobble, but he was taking a lot of damage, and it was kind of becoming one-sided at that one point.
Mm-hmm.
That I understand what at least the ref stopped it, even though us being there live, we didn't get to hear, hey, the ref kind of mentioned, hey, if you don't do something, we'll stop it. So they get all mad.
Yeah. There's a lot of bluebirds tonight,
live,
there,
right?
man. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it was an interesting night. I just wanted to call in, have those thoughts. I know tomorrow night's going to be even another great night of boxing, and with Chocolatito, and I hadn't catch the weigh-in actually, so I know you mentioned it, that Cesar
became overweight or something.
Yeah, he did.
Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know how's that going to work with the titles and everything. So he's probably not going to be able to get them. So
Yeah.
I'll kind of catch in the weigh-in after. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That was a pretty good night of boxing in Fresno, though.
Absolutely, man. I agree with a lot what you said, man. Really good call. And yeah, man, the Boo Birds were out tonight, man. They were booing Gabriel Flores. They booed the stoppage for Hoet. They were out tonight, but um, yeah, man, I feel like you're right. The head movement was the most important thing for Jose. It wasn't consistent enough, and that's why Pedraza was winning some rounds in there. You know, those straight left hands were landing. But his straight left hands weren't very consistent all through the night either. So you know, the volume punching went to Ramirez tonight and he got the win, man. And I want to see what happens, man, in the future. Like I said, man, they mentioned John Cepeda again, so that'd be another good fight if they were to rematch, bro. But hey, man, thanks for the call. I appreciate it, man. You calling live from the fights, and that's pretty cool, man. And I hope you enjoyed yourself, man.
Yeah. One last thing before I go, because I think it was like around 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Pedraza kind of almost did like a really soft uppercut, and that like it kind of landed. And I felt like if it was a really solid uppercut by anybody else, that would have probably dropped again Ramirez, and he probably should be more aware of uppercuts.
Yeah.
Especially when he scores himself up. And that's the one thing that I was like, oh, if it was a legit boxer right there, like with power, he would have gotten dropped again in that moment. That I forgot to mention before. But thanks, and I'll call in some other time.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for the call. I'll be doing this. I'm gonna try to do this for almost every fight. So yeah, anytime you feel you want to call in, man, give me a call, man. Thank you so much, though. I appreciate it, man. Really good call there. Good stuff, man. Yeah, those uppercuts are becoming a little bit of a problem for Jose, but let's give EBA a hand, man, for the call. Good call, man. Good stuff there. And he was at the fights, man. I wish I could travel right now. I just can't do it. But don't worry, I will be traveling to some of these fights in the near future, I hope. My man El Cheeto Boxing here. What's going on, bro? Thanks for stopping by. We have somebody here who thinks that Ramirez got a hometown decision. I disagree with that. I don't feel like you said Pedraza was consistent with the left hands straight into the body. No, he was landing those shots for sure. I just don't think what I disagree with it was the consistency. You know, there was a lot of rounds that he left on the table that went to Ramirez. You know, that's what I feel. It was one of those fights, man. And look, Pedraza's good, man. Like I didn't expect Jose to go in there and just steamroll him, man. I didn't expect that at all. But again, good fight, man. Really good fight. Again, guys, a number. I got another 30 minutes or so here before I wrap this thing up. 916-572-1020. Call in. Give me your thoughts on the fight. Now, to kind of rebound off of what EBA said when he called in, and again, good call. Okay, we got another phone call here.
G Funky HLD.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
You are live, caller. What's on your mind?
G Funky.
What's going on?
It's like I think I'm getting double feedback. Here we go. Let me pause the YouTube side.
Yeah. You
Yo,
want to pause that? What's going on, HLD? How you doing, brother?
Good, man. I was ready to go to sleep, and then I'm like, hold on, let me see if G Funky's back on. And I called it, and then you didn't. I don't know what happened, but anyway. So what are you chopping up right now? You're just talking about the Ramirez fight or Gay Flores?
We could talk about any fights you want tonight, man. Mainly if you want to talk about the main event, but we could talk about any of them, man. I feel like it was a pretty good night of fights.
It was, it was such a good night of fight that I forgot that that it's Friday night. I thought it was
Yeah.
waking up to Sunday morning. I'm
I
like,
feel
oh
the
shit,
same way. I'm like,
it's Saturday.
is it Saturday or Friday, bro? You know, hey,
Yeah,
good
I was
weekend,
like, oh,
man.
dude, I gained a whole day. uh,
That's right, man.
this fight, it was a good fight. It was a good fight. I think it's a good confidence builder fight for Ramirez. Did we see some changes? I mean, maybe he was, he was trying to press the head movements in his game, but uh, I still feel like he there's something within him. Like there's something like spiritually not totally there with this man. I don't. And every time I hear him talk, it doesn't feel like he's trying to psych himself into the game and to be this, more an assertive fighter. But I think it's a good win. I think it's a good step up fight for him and he needs to, probably jump back into the ring probably within the next 4 months. He needs to get a momentum going and build off of this, because I think it really took its toll, the loss against Taylor. It seemed like it really affected him into like depression,
Yeah, he
But
said he was.
but it was a good fight.
Yeah, he said he was very disappointed after that. And hey, all the belts are on the line, and you come up short. I'm sure that's tough to deal with. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I feel like there is a little bit of fighting there on the inside with himself about certain things. Trying to be more aggressive and be more mean, like they kind of talked about in the before the fight. I just think he just got to go back to being Jose. I feel like he's like I said, he's kind of trapped fighting between two Jose's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but look, we talked about this. Like we commented back and forth on a show in a couple days ago. How I agreed with you, man. I think Pedraza, he's just really good, man. So we got to give him some credit for going in there, boxing, turning southpaw when he did. I was thinking early live, I was like, man, it might be a little too early to switch southpaw. But hey, it worked out. I feel like it did give Ramirez some problems. Now Ramirez does have experience against southpaws, but it's never easy fighting a southpaw. Never.
No, it's not.
Yeah. And Pedraza's he's just a really good fighter, man. So I did not expect him to just steamroll or blow him out. I did not expect that at all. But
I'm not surprised that Ramirez won, but I know for a fact it was not going to be a walk in the park fight. I knew that for a fact it was not going to be. I think Pedraza is he's better at this weight. He's not drained and he is a crafty fighter. He's herky jerky weird. He's got weird angles and it's just he's just a different style fighter that you don't really see that often, but it gets found to anybody who faces him. So he doesn't have power. I think that's his problem. If he had power, I think he'd be a totally different fighter. But good win for Ramirez. He's a good guy, and he's that's all you can say. Hopefully, is he gonna be back to the top? Maybe only at 140 if the belts get all relinquished in it. But I don't know if he's gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be champion again. At 147, that's where he's trying to go. He ain't gonna be champion at 147.
That's a tough division, man. Yeah, I think he could get his hands on another belt if he stays at 140. What did you think about I know we kind of talked briefly in the comments of my video on the Gabriel Flores fight, but before we talk about that, I want to get your thoughts on how Hoet looked tonight, man. I thought he looked impressive, man. I thought he probably looked the most impressive of anybody on the card tonight, man. What did you think?
He looked good. I mean, he looked good. And it was a stoppage a little bit kind of weird,
Yeah.
maybe, but I think it was heading that direction. I think it was heading in that direction anyway. Eventually, the guy was getting punished badly, but I think it's another good win for them. I mean, I think he had 2 losses in a row. And
not in a row. I think he lost to Shakur. He came back and beat Mariaga, and then he had the tough fight with Navarrete, and then this fight. But yeah, he's been in there with some really good fighters. At
some warriors, yeah,
man.
with the cream of the crop. So it's you see, like it's different. Like you see a guy like that, yeah, he took some losses, but you can still see the skill set and
kind of different than what we're about to talk about. We talk about Gabe Flores.
Well, let's get on that, man, because I got a lot to say about that. I know you do too, man. So go ahead, give me your thoughts on that, bro.
I've never been impressed by Gabe Flores, and I always give him the benefit of, okay, he's young, but but I was never impressed. Kid's got no power, no defense. I don't know if he's still trying to figure out what type of a fighter he is, because you think he would be more of that slick fighter style, right? And that's how to be toe-to-toe type of guy. I mean, like, dude, you don't got power and you got no defense, so you shouldn't be fighting up on the inside with these guys.
Yep.
I just think this kid is in trouble if they're going to put him in at 135. I mean, he's in trouble now. Look how he fought tonight. And who's this guy he fought? He fought to his level. He went life and death with this guy. I just think that, look, you need at least three things in any sport or anything. You need to have heart, you need to have skills, and you have to have a physical ability, a gift that you come with. And there's something missing in this kid's tool set that it's not there. He has heart, he's got skill set, but I don't think he's physically gifted.
Yeah, there's something missing there, man. I think it's, and like I said, man, I feel like his dad was actually giving him the right advice. Throw more jabs. Don't move so much. Go straight down the middle on this guy. And when he started to do that in the last couple of rounds, then we started to see him land those flashy head catching shots. But too much leading with the left hook early, left uppercuts. Like, that shit just doesn't work, man. It's 2 fights in a row. He was caught up trying to do that shit for a majority of the fight.
Terrible in 2 fights in a row.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And
terrible.
To me, like, this is the way I look at him. He's fighting almost like Amir Khan, except he's got a better chin at this point, I feel like some of those punches that he got touched with tonight might have knocked out Amir Khan. But what I mean in the sense is that he doesn't really change up the speed on his punches. And his defense is mainly his legs. Just move out of the way and get away from shots. Like, very little head movement, upper body movement. The guard is just not there because he's trying to throw too many lead hooks, and that you land that, you're going to get countered with big shots. He's got to fight behind the 1-2. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's also missing ring IQ.
Yeah,
it's just that he's not seeing it. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't. There's no game plan, really. There's no. I don't know, man. I feel bad for the kid, and it's not about throwing away because he has the losses. No, it's just like, you see who's got it and who doesn't. Like I saw earlier, who impressed me was Carlos. What's his name? Carlos.
Yeah.
Hernandez.
Yeah.
I like that. Kid is gonna be nice.
Yeah.
That kid is gonna be nice. He's got nice tool set. He follows instructions very well from Buddy McGirt. Like, I see him and I'm like, okay, this kid's got something. I don't see that when I see Gabe Flores, even when he was winning and all that before he lost his last fight. I just didn't. It was like something's missing with this kid.
Yep.
And so
head movement.
I don't know. I mean,
I think head movement. And stop trying to throw home or try to hit home runs with every punch. Trying to land that flashy lead left hook to try to knock somebody out. Like, it's not working, man. That's not working.
And he's got 22 fights.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know what I mean? So what are we gonna do? We're gonna have to bring him up. They're gonna have to, like, slow him down to, like, Munguia pace. And probably have another 20 fights before he starts. Because if he goes to 135. He will not beat not one top 15 guy.
No, I agree with you. Not one. I agree with you. He's too,
including Maxie Hughes, who's all the way at number 15 or something.
Yep, the power's not there. The power's not there at 130. I don't think it's going to go up to 135. Physically, he doesn't look very strong. Although he was kind of pushing this guy around a little bit. I don't know, man. Maybe once he gets older and he develops that man strength, like we kind of talk about often as boxing fans,
I don't talk about because
you
I don't
know.
believe in that, man. I
Yeah.
don't believe in man strength. Well, I don't know. Maybe because it's the way I am. I do. I'm like, I'm strong, and I'm not. I'm strong. Okay, that's just it is what it is. But I
Yep.
see at 135, Isaac Cruz will knock him out. I see Michael Rivera, or I don't know if it's Michael or Michelle. I don't know how they call his
Michelle.
name,
Yeah,
but
Michelle.
Michelle, right?
Hmm.
Rivera. I see William Cepeda beating on him. I just don't see him. I don't see him beating any guy at top 15 for a long time. So
Yeah.
maybe, like I was thinking, they have to take it slow, and probably start from scratch, rebuild. It's not to say that throw away the dad or anything like that, but maybe the dad takes care of the. There's other things besides just teaching boxing. You train them and whatnot, but then let the teachings of the tools of boxing to someone who knows. He's Matt Salas or Robert Garcia or something to that effect. Maybe Buddy McGirt, somebody who knows the game and knows how to teach it,
Yeah.
and they can rebuild this kid.
Maybe a Virgil Hunter, who I know Andre Ward is an advisor and Flores' team. Maybe they could get him going there, and the dad be the second, something like that, man. But I definitely agree with you, man. Somebody's got to come in there and change a few things up for Flores especially if he's going to go to 135. Oh man, it's going to be tough for him up there, man. But hey, brother,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm saying he was talking at the end of the fight. He was talking like oh, I'm done with 130. Like he's like he's walking in confident. He's 135. You're like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
but
yeah, it's gonna be
that's
tough.
it, man.
Yep. Hey, thanks for the call, HLD. I know it's late, man. You're on the East Coast, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I know it's late for you guys over there, man. It's late over here, and I'm on the West Side, So,
Dude,
but
man,
hey,
what a long night. What a long night. Yeah.
I appreciate the call, man. I'll be live again,
man. Thank you for taking my call, man.
Anytime, brother. That's HLD, guys. Let's give him a hand for the call. Good stuff there, man. Yeah, I agree. Might need a new trainer, man, to kind of step in and teach a few different things, get a different set of eyeballs. I agree, EBA. Yeah, definitely a new set of eyeballs for Gabe Flores. It was frustrating, man, because he had the better. Obviously, he's the more skilled fighter than Montoya. You can see it. He just wasn't doing he wasn't doing the right thing to win that fight. Moving too much. I mean, just too much movement for Gabe Flores. Too much movement. Unnecessary movement. I talk about that a lot too, where guys just move around too much. His dad kept telling him that too. Look, relax. He kept telling him, relax. Stop moving so much, Let him be first every now and then so you could counter him. Obviously, you got the faster hands. You can do that. And, work behind your jab. That's all good advice. It's just, he wasn't doing it. I think where they really struggle with, again, is defense. Not a lot of head movement. The guard is just not really that good for Flores. I mean, his hands are like way out here a lot of the time. And, again, like I say, he's trying to lead with that left hook all the time. And that just leaves you wide open for shots, man. I got another 10 minutes here, guys, and I'm going to wrap it up. If anybody else wants to get a call in, numbers on the screen, 916-572-1020. Call in to talk to the one and only G-Funk. Yes, thank you very much. The band, the home band, the HCP band, give them a hand, all right? Thank you guys so much. Tomorrow night, you guys in the chat, let me know who you got for tomorrow night. Are you going with the chocolate man or the king? Who do you got? My prediction video, I had it out now for about a week. I predicted a win for Martinez. Younger, stronger. I think he is the bigger man now. I question that with Chocolatito. I mean, I know that he's been at 115 for a few years now. And El Rey's moving up, but I mean, he comes in 2 pounds overweight. for this fight. I honestly think he probably is the bigger man. Chocolatito to me, like I said, I love Chocolatito. Very skilled. He's a legend. You know, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's beaten all the guys, fought all the guys that you can fight around his weight classes. But man, he's been in a lot of wars. He's getting old. It wouldn't surprise me if he wins, but it's a young man's game, you know. And I feel like with Martinez's style, he's so explosive out of that high guard that he fights behind. I don't think Chocolatito's fought somebody that explodes like that, the way that Martinez is. I think that's going to be a little bit of problem, the hand speed, the explosiveness. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm expecting a hell of a fight tomorrow night. Major Key Boxing in the house. What's up, man? You guys subscribe to Major Key Boxing. Really good channel. Let's see. EBA 101 says, sometimes family can't get through to you while someone else is telling you the same thing. But you listen, Hello Flores might fall into this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. El Cheeto says Ray Martinez. Major Key says he's got Roman Chocolatito. All right, cool. Let's see. Josa says Martinez, but Chocolatito's beast. Absolutely, he is, man. Absolutely. If they're the same age, man, I would take Chocolatito all day long, man. All day long. Another thing I noticed with Chocolatito since he's been at 115 is I just don't think he had the same kind of power that he did at flyweight, and even in the lower weight classes than that, where he was getting a lot of stoppages. I looked at his resume. He was on like a 10 fight knockout streak, before he moved up to 115. Now he's got a couple stoppages here in this weight, but I mean they're not coming like they used to. But I do expect him to come forward, try to put that pressure. But I don't think, I think Martinez is gonna meet him right in the middle of the ring, because he doesn't like to back up either. But if Chocolatito can get him backing up, could be a long night for Martinez. But I expect a war, man. When we seen Arroyo drop him in the last fight, he gets up, drops McWilliams Arroyo, and right back in the same round. He's gonna be looking to exchange, man, and it's gonna make for a fun fight. I also said this in my prediction that because of Chocolatito's style, the volume and the pressure, you leave your opponent opportunities to counter you. He threw over 1,000 punches in his last fight with El Gallo, and that's a lot of opportunities to give your opponent to counter your shots. I don't think he's bad defensively though. I think it's like, again, it's just a style thing. He does have a really good high guard. He comes, his high guard is active. He'll move his hands to block shots. He'll move his upper body, as where Martinez is more just right here, looking to explode with big shots and shoot power jabs and then feint really hard. So I think it's gonna be a really good fight, man. Can't wait to see this one. Cannot wait. Again, guys, a few more minutes here. I'll take one more call. Numbers on top of the screen, 916-572-1020. I want to thank my man D-Style for calling in earlier. HLD, EBA 101 for calling in, who's actually there at the fight. Good stuff for calling in, man. You were there watching the fight live. That's cool stuff, man. Wish I could have been there, What about the power outage, man? Wasn't that a trip? This is the second time that happened in Fresno, right? Didn't that happen in the Mikey Garcia fight? And they're fighting at that baseball stadium in Fresno. The power goes out in the main event, and then the power goes out again, but just for a split second this time. Came right back on. But what's going on over there in Fresno? All right. Keep the lights on, guys. All right. We missing the bills, or not paying the bills over there, or what? Let's see. EBA says, yes, I was there too. I'm bad luck. Oh, so it was your fault, man. That's funny, man. I was expecting the Undertaker to come out, bro. All of a sudden, boom, the lights just cut out. I was waiting for the gong, That's just a little joke, you know what I'm saying? But oh, it was raining down there? Oh wow. It rained here a little bit today, but just in the morning time. That's it, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Logic here says G Funk, I have Progress as successor to 140 to Taylor. If Taylor moves up to 147, Progress Ramirez should be next. Who you got? Oh, man, that's a good fight. That's a really good fight. I have to think about that, man. I don't usually break down fights until they're official, but I think that's a good fight. Be another southpaw. That'd be 3 southpaws in a row, basically, that uh Ramirez has taken on. I know that Pedraza is a switch hitter, but he fought a majority of the night in the southpaw position. So he's well acquainted with fighting southpaws. So I think it's a good fight, though. I like Regis a lot. I feel like Regis. I mean, he deserves a rematch with Taylor. I mean, I scored that fight for Regis. His fight with Taylor. But again, the hometown thing. I feel like if that fight was in United States soil, Progress probably gets the win 7-5 split decision the way that it was. But Regis, he's had kind of a weird path after that fight. He fought once on a PBC card, and then I seen him fight on a Triller card. So he's just kind of all over the place right now. But I definitely think he should definitely get a crack at one of those belts if Taylor does move up to 147. And a fight with Ramirez, whoo, that's a good fight, man. Really good fight. Excuse me, guys. Good allergies, man. Bad day out here. I do wish it was raining now, so it would knock down some of this dust and pollen and stuff that's in the air for me. But yeah, guys, you say you got Regis, okay? Yeah, I mean, I have to think about it, man. Like I said, I don't really like to, unless it's like a real easy like pick 'em fight. Then I might be like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna win, But I don't think that's a pick 'em fight. It's a tough fight, really tough fight. Regis probably too technical for Jose. I mean, look, Regis likes to fight on the inside too. That in my opinion, that's where Taylor probably won the fight on the judges' scorecards in that fight was Taylor was able to get on the inside. And look, I mean, Regis likes to fight on the inside as well. So but just Taylor's just better on the inside. He's more crafty, really good at using his shoulders on the inside to create space or the forearms. Even sometimes use the gloves to kind of get head control and then boom, throw a punch. A lot of people call it dirty. I don't think that's dirty. I just think that's crafty, good inside work, man. That's the way I see it, from Josh Taylor. So yeah, guys, looks like I'm not gonna get another phone call tonight, and that's cool. I got myself, 3 good calls tonight. Tomorrow night I'll be live again. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna call the fight live, because it's gonna be a good fight, man. And then as soon as the fight's over, I'll switch right over to come right over here and take phone calls from you guys right after the fight is over tomorrow between Chocolatito and El Rey Martinez. So again, guys, good night of boxing tonight. It was very fun, very cool to see all the California fighters tonight. Really good stuff, man. Team Batman says it is amazing. Yep, man. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. I know it's late, probably early in the morning where you're. I'm not quite sure the time zone, but thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Jose Ramirez gets the job done tonight against Jose Pedraza. And yeah, that's it, guys. I'm gonna end this one here. I want to thank you guys all for joining me tonight. Tomorrow night again, call-in show. Make sure you are there for that one. All right, guys. This is G Funky Boxing. The band will take you home. I'm out.